Yes? Question? Hmm? Jordan? Jordan?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Any question so far?
No.
Fiona? Fiona?
Yes, teacher.
Any question?
No.
Okay. Now allow me go to sulfates. We have looked at how carbonates behave. Now let's look at sulfates. Sulfates of sodium and potassium, just like carbonates of sodium and potassium, just like carbonates of sodium and potassium. Now here we're looking at sulfates of sodium and potassium do not decompose on heating the same way. Do not decompose on heating. Even their carbonates we saw they don't decompose on heating. When hydrated, the same thing. If they have water in them, it loses the crystalline nature and it becomes amorphous or a powder. Amorphous means something has no shape. Powders don't have shape. They take the shape of the container. So this one is a crystal. Potassium carbonate is a crystal. When you heat, it behaves the same way. It gives away the water in a gaseous state and then potassium sulfate. Now, those who are writing equations, if they tell to write the composition of potassium sulfate, then water, you make a mistake of writing this water in a liquid state. That equation is wrong. You know the reason? What is the reason? Hmm? Someone give me the reason. Yes? If you put here, instead of a gas, you put it to be a liquid.
Gas.
Hmm? Hmm? People are quiet. What is the reason? If you put this, if I'm heating this one, and I put this water, I get 10 water to be a liquid. Why is it wrong? Hmm? Yes? I'm waiting for the answer. Who has the answer? Eh? When you're heating something, water evaporates. It does not turn to a liquid unless if you want, you condense that water back. So meaning, if you condense this water back to this solid of ours, it will go back to this potassium 10 water. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So sulfates of heavy metals decompose to give metal oxides, that's one, and white fumes of sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide. They don't give sulfur dioxide. Those ones of heavy metals, heavy metals, they give sulfur trioxide. So when heated more strongly, the sulfur trioxide here, the sulfur trioxide gas decomposes to give sulfur dioxide and oxygen gas. Have you seen the difference? Hmm?
Yes.
When you get the two, when you are given a salt, an example of copper sulfate here, when you heat slowly or loudly, the end product is copper oxide and sulfur trioxide gas. Have you seen? Now, if you heat this whatever strongly, you keep heating this solid strongly, it will this sulfur dioxide further goes to sulfur dioxide gas and oxygen, isn't it? So here they are saying when hydrated copper 2 sulfate crystals are heated, they lose their water of crystallization and changes from blue to a white powder. meaning this one has now become a white powder. This white powder is what they use for testing water in the lab. If you pass water through this, it will go back to our copper 2 sulfate water. You get it? So the water condenses as a liquid and it remains on the cooler parts of the test tube when it cools. On further heating, the white powder forms white fumes of sulfur trioxide and a black oxide, which is copper oxide.
Sulfate.
Yes? It is copper oxide, an oxide of copper and sulfur trioxide gas. Now, there is a behavior of this one. When green solids of iron 2 sulfate is heated, it loses water of crystallization. If you heat this, the color of iron 2 sulfate is green. I will show you the color of these salts in a few minutes to come. I'm trying to put my camera right, but it is just disturbing. So here they are saying iron 2 sulfate is a green solid. When you heat, it loses the water of crystallization and changes from green to, is it data yellow or data green, something of the kind. That means it has lost the water element in it. The crystals here have lost their nature and they have gone to solids. Okay, now that solid will not remain in that color green. It will be somehow data yellow. Data yellow is not, they are not sure of the color. It is either data or something else, but it remains something like green, that color of those soldiers, the one soldiers put on. That one mixed with the green and yellow at the same time. You know that color? Yes? You get the color. Green. Yes? So
Yes,
if you further heat this salt here, if you heat it further, what happens is this. It goes to iron 3 oxide, which is a brown solid. If you further heat. Now, this is heating like the other one. When you heat fast, then when you heat strongly, this is what happens. The iron sulfate becomes iron 3 oxide, sulfur trioxide. It brings two gases at a go. Now, it brings two gases. Now, a colorless gas that turns potassium dichromate solution from yellow to green. This one is sulfates. We have not yet reached on sulfates, but we shall see how sulfur dioxide gas is tested. And then when time allows us, we shall also look at that. We are just like the way we have looked at carbon dioxide, we shall look at sulfates and then nitrates. Nitrates, you find them, there's a topic called nitrogen and its compounds. Sulfates also, there's a topic called sulfur and it is compounds. That's where you find sulfates. So if you look at these sulfates, that's their behavior. And naturally iron, it is O is, how do you call the O? O is where you find something, isn't it? It's like a home where you find an habitat where you find this iron. So naturally iron exists as this iron 3 oxide and is in the form of those brown solids. So for it, when you burn further, it gives two gases, sulfur trioxide and sulfur dioxide. They convert partially. But with this copper, it gives us only this. Now, if you have further heat this, it goes to sulfur dioxide and oxygen gas. Yes, an oxygen gas at the end. So I want to stop here now and invite questions because we have about 7 minutes. Do you have questions? Hmm? Do we have questions? Shina. Shina. Shina, you are quiet. We don't have questions. We have two things to go. That's a nitrate and a chloride. After those ones, we shall look at those few, and then we go back and calculate solubility. We left that part of solubility so that we handle it on its own day. So by the we hope by the end of this week we'd have finished this topic called acids, bases, and salts.
So
This coming week. So at the end of that, whatever, we shall also have a simple test to do. I'm about to post marks for the other one. We did. Okay. So here we have this sulfates. When you heat those ones of potassium and sodium, they remain that way unless they have water crystallization. That's when they give away the water. But when you heat just potassium sulfate, no observable change. When you heat a copper sulfate 5 water, at first in the process of heating, it will give away the water until it remains. If you heat furthermore, it gives us copper oxide, which is black, and sulfur trioxide. Furthermore, heating, the copper oxide does not change. What changes is the sulfur dioxide. It goes to
Sulfur dioxide.
and oxygen gas. The same thing here. When you heat this, it gives us these two things. So when you heat furthermore, it gives sulfur dioxide and the white fumes of sulfur trioxide. And iron 3 oxide is left. That is the end product for that. Do you have questions as far as that is concerned? Hmm? Yes? If you don't have questions, let's discuss this one. What happens when you heat ammonium sulfate? Ammonium sulfate. We looked at the way when you heat ammonium carbonate. What does it do? It sublimes into different gases. Now, when you heat ammonium sulfate, what happens? Where are the answers? Yes? Let me pick people. Daisy. Daisy.
yes, teacher.
When you heat ammonium carbonate, ammonium sulfate, I mean, what do you get? Hmm? Yes? Ammonium sulfate, when you heat, what happens? You get what? When you heat ammonium carbonate, we found out 3 things: that ammonia gas comes out. That's the first one. We go to carbon dioxide gas, then water at last. When you heat ammonium sulfate, what do you get? Don't talk alone. Talk with others. Ruben, when you heat ammonium sulfate, what do you get? Ruben?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Ammonium sulfate?
I think we get ammonium gas.
Mhm.
And
And
Water vapor.
water vapor. Uh-huh.
Yes.
That is all.
Mm.
Mhm. Which gas do you form? That comes from a sulfur. Which gas?
sulfur trioxide.
Sulfur trioxide. Thank you for the work. Not sulfur trioxide, it's sulfur dioxide. Okay?
Yes.
Because the end product of heating, it goes, this one, ammonium, all the salts of ammonium sublime when you heat. Even ammonium chloride sublimes when you heat. You get it?
Yes.
Turns into different gases. Now, when you get a carbonate, it gives you carbon dioxide. When you get sulfate ion, it gives you sulfur dioxide. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
So if it is so, you are going to check your homework. I'm going to send homework today. And then after doing it, you WhatsApp it on my line. Okay?
Yes.
These are about 12 people. I expect to see 12, even they were more than this. I expect to see more
Teacher.
answers. Yes.
I'm not on your line for WhatsApp.
Those people have it, but if you can